Bagseed Chronicles is a podcast about cannabis and the people who enjoy it. I hope to provide... I went on a little walkabout and then had some adventures in dentistry. As a patient, obviously. So I have one more dental adventure next week, and then, hopefully, I will have more time to devote to recording my garden adventure with you fine folks. I went up and did some nostalgic shit around the Puget Sound near Tacoma, mainly. Carlos Mullen and I used to be stationed at Fort Lewis together. He is the owner of No Bad Days Ranch and has been on this podcast before. We went on base and enjoyed the American decadence that is Charlie's Subs. Maybe snurf some derb for the homies out by the Memorial to Fallen Soldiers. Maybe. Memories fade with time. This plant is magical. I think all plants are magical. How they take energy from the sun and turn it into food. We understand the process. Still, to me, it still seems magical. This plant has been cultivated next to humans for thousands of years. Generations of cannabis, generations of humans, tied together in a relationship not unlike the canine one. The first cultivations were hardly so. A few plants sown purposefully along a floodplain to be collected after the first autumn rains, or maybe just before. Maybe broken apart and seeds collected before the rest of the plant matter was used to almost fumigate tents. Think hotboxing a car. See my episode about how the Scythians used to smoke weed from season 1. This relationship with this plant is probably more inherent to our humanity than any modern humans may realize. Lost to time, prohibitive nonsense, and the necessary clandestine nature of the culture during the latter half of the 20th century. There is a whole history faded behind us due to the unfortunate attitudes of the weak-minded, pig-headed, and uninitiated amongst us, who would still love to burn the last plant to make the hippies cry. Fuck those people. Seriously, anyone who wants to make this plant illegal or keep this plant illegal should be composted in plain view for all to see. Gibbeted like a common pirate. Welcome to the Bagseed Chronicles. I am Uncle Dig. I have an interview with Lukas Barfield in his basement to share. It was short, but a fun hang. We overindulged a bit and could only hold it together for so long. But before that, I will have a garden update for all of you, and a new segment that may interest you. It is called Free Shit the Companies Send Me, and in it, I will be discussing free shit the companies send me. This inaugural segment will feature the lunar vaporizer from Dip Devices. Such a varied show for you today. So exciting. Let's overgrow the world. Company send me free shit, and I'm gonna talk about it. You can listen to it or not. I don't really give a fuck if this product's hot. Yeah. So I was thinking, how am I gonna do this segment? And then I thought, well, here's the lunar dip devices. So I'm gonna open this up. Oh, see, I tore it. See, I should have just had this pre-opened, but I didn't, so let's pull that out. Oh, dude, it's slick looking. Lucas loves his, so I'm excited to see how I like it. Oh, this is slick. It's like, it's about a size of like a Sharpie, like a thick Sharpie. Oh, it just got coils right there. Okay, so. Alright, this is super boring. Sorry, I was seeing how it works. So it says, remove cap, and if necessary, tighten atomizer. Okay. And it says, Jesus, guys, I'm sorry. It says, oh, shit. I guess I'm supposed to have a dab spoon. I have to go find something to put dabs in here. Give me a second. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, I found a safety pin. And since this is a free shit segment, I'm going to take some Dr. Jolly's cream cake that a friend of mine gave me. And I'm gonna put that into this Dip Devices lunar here. Thanks to Dip Devices for sending this to me. This is gonna be super awesome, I think. Like I said, Lucas really likes his, so I'm excited to see how this thing works. Alright, well that fits, so I'm assuming it's not overfilled. See, when he said he was gonna send me a dab pen, that it was gonna be like a nectar collector or something. I wasn't ready for all this shit. So I've loaded up the chamber, and I'm gonna do this. So it says, slip that bad boy back on the cover. Don't turn it upside down, it says. Don't be doing that shit. So you click it 5 times. And then, here we go. Oh, wow. Wow. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Let me turn my microphone up a little bit. I'm going to hit it again. Oh, wow. It's tasty. All right, wow. That's really good. I can see why Lucas likes his so much. Oh shit, I gotta turn my mic back down. I'm sorry guys, I'm a loud guy. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's really nice. Kind of a little sipper. I like that. Wow, that's really nice. And you heard me figure it out. I figured it out in less than 5 minutes, and I was already doing bong rips earlier, and now I'm super stoned. So there's not much to it. It's a battery with a really well-designed chamber. I looked at the coils while I heated them up. They don't get super red hot, so I assume it's like a low temperature thing. It's not burning my throat, and I would take it too hot if it could. Yeah, I really like that. I gotta say, like, if you had some money and you wanted to buy one of these, I would not advise you not to. I think this is a pretty cool device. I think if you wanted like a little dab pen, this is definitely a contender. Now, this is only for dabs. This is only for concentrates, right? You're not going to be able to smoke flower out of this. But I'm in my studio here, and I can smell the plants on my fingers over it. I've got some really like fragrant plants. I just took a few leaves off. I was just doing a little defoliation. So yeah, this is I would say the Lunar by Dip Devices. I'd say I'd give it like 9 out of 10 thumbs up. Is that a way of doing it? Like, I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because I don't use a lot of these devices. I would feel like I was being too generous. I'll tell you what, like here in like 6 months, I'll let you know if I'm still using it. I'm pretty hard on shit. So it says not the turn it upside down. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to like put it in a pocket because that's like not fair to it. But it's going to be my like desk device. So I'm going to, wow, it does. It just burns it up. This is cool. It's going to be my desk device. So it's going to be here for when I record podcasts. I think it gives my voice like a sexy, husky, like what's that actress's name? God. You know, husky, sexy, redhead. Fuck, what is her name? Jesus, what is her name? Emma Stone. It's Emma Stone. Emma Stone. I don't sound like Emma Stone, but I feel like I've got that like. Oh wait, that's verbal fry. That's not good. Anyway, dip devices. I've got the Lunar here. It's good free shit. If you want one, you should use your money for it and buy it. Yeah. Free shit, yeah. If you'd like to give Uncle Dig stuff to interview on his podcast for free, send an email to uncledig4@gmail.com. Uncle Dig's garden update. Hello, it is March 22nd, and we are in Gardening Zone 8B, and it is time for a garden update. Happy spring, everyone. The 2 bag seeds I have been growing out in my garage 2x2 are looking lovely. They have been getting mild defoliations periodically, but that will stop around week 3. They are currently in week 2 of flower, and are looking quite beefy, and showing good trichome production even this early in flower. One of the bag seed, the one I call Igor, is putting on very chunky flowers, but not stretching much. The other one is stretching quite a bit, and seems to want to crowd the other one out. They are just now starting to smell a bit. Just a faint pinene smell at this time. Super rich, exciting. Inside the 4x4 garage tent, I have 5 photoperiod fire of maroof plants. As soon as they dry out, they will be moved from 1-gallon plastic nursery pots into 3-gallon fabric smart pots. I hope to transfer whichever ones are female into 30 gallons outdoors in May. Now, I cut some diagnostic clones from these on Monday, so I'm hoping that those will root soon. I'm really excited about these genetics. This is Fire OG crossed with a Afghan heirloom strain, so I'm hoping to get really potent indica, out of this. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope it does well outdoors, and I hope it does some of the pretty things and some of the remarkable smell things that some of the cannabis plants in Afghanistan that I remember did. Now, the clones have been going weak. They have not produced roots yet. They are under an old, weak blurple light in a humidity dome, getting misted pretty frequently. They are on an 18:6 light cycle. Now, the other plants in the 4x4 are autoflowers, planted directly into 5-gallon pots. I planted 5. 2 from Crop King Seeds, Candy Cane and Tangerine Dream, and the other 3 are from 420 Fast Buds. They're Girl Scout cookies, Afghan Kush, and Blackberry. These autos are doing well, and I just started watering all of them normally yesterday. They are working on their second set of true leaves and look healthy. I haven't decided whether or not I will finish these autoflowers outdoors or not. That will depend on weather and the plant's timing. I will sow autos directly sometime in May regardless in order to have another small summer harvest. Those will be sown outdoors sometime around May 9th to the 15th. In my studio, I have a flat of peppers going, some habanada peppers for a not hot sauce project I am working on. I think I'll call it my not sauce. I also have some rainbow chilies and a Hungarian black chili in there as well. They will be outside this summer as well for some food in the garden. I plan on sowing feminized cannabis seeds on April 1st. I am hoping that I will have that fire over my roof sexed by then, so I know how many other plants to start. We will have to see. I haven't really been able to rush clones. That's pretty much it for my garden update. Let's overgrow the world. Welcome to the Bag Seed Chronicles, everyone. Lukas is a cannabis activist, a cannabis medical patient, a disability activist, and an entrepreneur in the cannabis space. He also writes articles for at Ganjapreneurs, and he sometimes teaches cannabis classes at colleges. He
is my dearest friend, and I am here on location in his basement. Ladies and gentlemen, Lukas Barfield.
Thanks for the great introduction there, Uncle Dig. Really, man, really nice to see you up here in Tacoma. How have you been feeling about Tacoma since you've been here?
Dude, it was a little rough coming out from the sticks, honestly, to coming back into like a bigger town. But now that I've had a couple of days to adjust, and her grandpa's got a great spread for us to stay at, my partner's grandpa has a great place for us to stay at. So it's been nice going back there every night where it's kind of quiet, and then kind of working our way back into the city to do stuff.
Oh, you had said you were going to stay in a hotel. You didn't stay in a hotel?
Well, there was a miscommunication. We thought that her grandpa was renting a different room than he was. So we didn't think we had a place to stay, but we did. So it worked out.
Well, I think that's better. You're like, I want to stay on a hotel in South Tacoma Way, and yeah,
it is better. So we just got a chance to vape some of your carrot cake, and I know my audience isn't necessarily familiar with that. That's a cut you've been keeping alive, right, for like 4 or 5 years at this point, right? Since as long as you've been growing, almost.
Yeah, I got that cut from a family member. They actually found a seed and started growing it, and then they were like, "Oh, this is really tastes like carrot." And sure enough, we got it tested, and it had the same terpene as carrot, so it came out like 17% THC. It's a pretty good cut with, I think it's myrcene, humulene, and caryophyllene, so it kind of has like a peppery smell to it.
Yeah. My partner mentioned she has got a more refined palate than me. She said that it actually tasted a little bit cinnamony too, which was really neat.
Yeah, and I just really been trying to keep it going because it's just like kind of a perfect cannabis for like everyday use. It's not too strong, but it's not too weak, and it's got a good taste. So it's really enjoyable.
Yeah, and I think that's important for some, especially medical patients, to remember. A lot of the really heady strains aren't necessarily as useful medically if you're going to be imbibing every day. Maybe you don't want something that's pushing 25% and is really psychedelic. Maybe you're actually looking for something that's only testing anywhere from 12 to 18%.
Yeah, we were really lucky to get this. I've just been keeping it alive, and so hopefully to keep it alive for the foreseeable future. I'm glad you liked it.
I've always liked that strain, and there's something like spiritually, like kind of like special about imbibing something that you've grown and kept alive for a long time, or enjoying something that a friend has grown and been growing for a long time. Because when a grower has been growing a certain strain for a while, you kind of develop a connection with that particular phenotype or that particular cultivar. And so a lot of times as you cultivate it more and more, you actually are able to bring out better and better expressions as you get to know the plant.
Yeah, and it's just extreme gratitude that we got the cut, and really reminds me kind of like of a person that kind of helped me start getting growing. He can grow some extremely good cannabis, just an older fellow in my wife's family, and it's just really kind of when I'm smoking it and growing it, kind of, he's still alive, but it just reminds me of him. He is also a medical patient, so it's good to pass on cannabis information on to other people, and I'm just really grateful to have that cut and some of the information that he's passed on to me. And I think you were mentioning that there's just more to cannabis and medical cannabis about getting high or even medicating. That's why it's such a great medicine, because it has so many different pieces to it.
And there's when you grow it for your own, we're big advocates on the Backseat Chronicles of growing your own cannabis. And part of the reason is you can select a plant that not only complements you medically, you can also select a plant that complements your growing style, that complements the way you like to grow. Not every plant you're going to be able to shove in a little 2x2. Some of them are just going to always try to outgrow that space. Some plants stretch ridiculously long. They're really better for outdoors. So once you start to get to know different plants that you've grown, you start to understand like what works best for you, not only as a drug cultivar or as a medicine, but as a plant to cultivate. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, and I think the secret for me is I just kind of keep a really low veg output as far as wattage goes. And so it keeps the plants real small and everything. So I can take like a sativa plant and turn it into a small bush, just because I'm trying not to use as much electricity and water and fertilizer on that part. Just to, indoor growing cannabis is not the most sustainable thing, and I wish that we could grow it outside, but the laws and just social norms, you can't grow as much as you would want to outside. So, patients like myself have to turn to growing just small things inside, and I split a lot of my output with veteran friends of mine. So we kind of work together to grow, but we don't even, we might be putting out about 1.5 ounces a month. So, but that'll help us keep going, because sometimes the prices are high. And, the big thing is too, I don't know if you saw this, Washington State just started, they haven't yet, but the law is about to go into effect. They're going to be starting to test for pesticides for the first time.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's kind of breaking news right here on the Backseat Chronicle. That is coming out, and this is a new rule they're going to be coming. But one of the issues that people are having with the pesticide testing is it is self-selection. So just like when you test, some of the problem with testing is it's self-selection too. So a grower can just go and pick off the very tip-top bud, test it comes out like 25%, and then the rest of it might come out like 20, 19, 18% to get all down to the popcorn buds. Testing way lower, so it's kind of leading to testing inconsistency. So that's some of the worry with the pesticides. So you could spray like half your crop, and another crop you don't spray, and then you could test that one part, and it would come out still okay. So there still are some issues with the pesticide testing. Do they test all the lots for pesticides in Oregon there?
I don't know as far as on the rec market how detailed the testing requirements are, but I know that a lot of people in the industry kind of point to Oregon as a testing model, because we do test for mold and for pesticides and stuff. But I don't know how many lots they test out of everything. I'm not sure. I think that every batch of cannabis that gets sold to a dispensary has to come with a testing sheet. Does that make sense? So I think they are testing every lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I've covered some Oregon recalls now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, and I think that it's interesting also the point you bring up, that even when test results are inflated, sometimes it's not the lab being dishonest, it's the grower, kind of edging his test by taking parts of the flower he knows are going to be higher and then mixing them together and sending them as a sample to the lab. Yeah. So there's a couple different ways that if you are familiar with the cannabis plant and how the lab process works, you can kind of play some shiesty games. And so that's why what I tell people is, if you're looking for cannabis to smoke either recreational or medically, the test results are great. They can tell you a lot about a plant, but also, and this is why I don't like Washington sometimes, you should be able to smell it, because a lot of times your nose will kind of tell you whether or not you're going to even enjoy that cannabis, or if it's even good for you. If you smell it and you're like, that smells good, I want that, then that's your body intuitively telling you, yeah, this is a good thing for me to pursue. But if you smell it and you're like, I don't want that, then you shouldn't buy that cannabis. And in Oregon, sometimes it depends on the shop now with COVID, but you can still smell your flower in Oregon. You can't do that here. You kind of have to have so I have a pretty deep knowledge of what cannabis strains I like and dislike. So I'm able to go into a shop and look through the jar and know that if it is what they say it is, I'll probably like it. But if you're a new consumer, it would be very challenging to navigate the Washington market effectively.
Yeah, and that ability not to be able to, the inability to smell cannabis has really led to a couple things here in Washington. Is one of them is, there's a lot of strains that they say they are one thing and they're just another thing, and you never even really know. And then there's a lot of sort of, and then one of the first people I ever covered in cannabis, named Dr. Jeffrey Raber with the workshop, talked about this many years ago, like 2013. One of the problem with Washington and some of the other places is they've sort of bred the plant right up into some corners with certain terpenes like terpenoline and pinene and myrcene and a couple other things. And so a lot of the cultivars are kind of the same. And so you get one and it smells the same as just another. And so that is one of the big issues, is which is fine if it's good cannabis.
Right.
We're not too really worried about it if you open it up and it smells really great. But you do get some that doesn't smell that great and it is not that great. And a lot of it you wouldn't buy if you would have smelling it first. I promise you that.
Right.
In Washington State.
And you're right. A lot of them are a lot of cannabis is kind of becoming bottlenecked as far as terpene profiles and stuff. But what I will tell people, and one of the things I advocate, if you've got an extra room in your grow, let's say you're growing something out and all of a sudden you had to kill like 3 males, it was horrible, and you've got some extra plant count, pop a bag seed. Pop a random cannabis seed, and a lot of times you'll get something that you've never smelled before, like your carrot cake, just because it's been male to female bred, and now it's not clone only, and now it's a new combination of things. Every seed, even in a pack that you buy from a breeder, has the potential to show you, if not new to the cannabis community flavor, definitely new to you. And it's such a wonderful journey of discovery to plant a seed and grow it out for a month and take a cut and then pop it and flip it to flower and then realize that you don't just have some random purple. You have a purple that tastes like sweet bacon or something, and that's really special.
Yeah, and especially if you get seeds from the regulated market, and because if you find a seed in a lot of those, don't throw them out because they're coming from pretty good genetics. I mean, whatever you want to say about the regulated market from time to time, the genetics as a whole are really strong and probably pretty potent.
Yeah, they're able to survive the regulated market. Very strong plants.
Nice one.
I think so. So I just wanted to record a little bit with you today since I was in town. Is there anything you'd like to say to the Backseat Chronicles audience before we get out of here?
Oh, yeah, not too much. Just keep listening to the Backseat Chronicles.
All right, everyone, thank you for listening to the Backseat Chronicles. Let's overgrow the world.
You can reach me, Uncle Dig, on Instagram at Uncle Dig. The bumper music on this podcast was produced by Chad DeVilliers on ukulele. He can be followed on YouTube at Ukuleles Are Stupid or on Instagram at Chadwick Enterprises.